All right, Shalom Yasharala. Before we get started, don't give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, and double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone that teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the full elect. And we're back with another video, another lesson. And in this lesson, the title of this lesson is going to be comparing the times of Noah to now, right? I just want to, go into a little bit of depth or of comparing, from the times of when Noah was around to now, how it's similar. I put up Chat GPT, and I asked him what was going on in the times of Noah, right? And it says, in the times of Noah, the Bible describes a world that had become deeply corrupt, violent, and morally depraved. Here's a breakdown of what was happening based mainly on Genesis 6. Now, real quick, I want to let's get Ecclesiastes at 1 and 9. Yeah, this is Ecclesiastes 1 and 9, and it says, "The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun." So this is nothing new. This has all been, as we know, we should all know by now that reincarnation is real. So everything that's happened in the time of Noah, it's just happening again, So I read it. I'll keep going. It says, Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It had been already of old time, which was before us. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. So this has already been of old, So it says widespread. Number one, it says widespread wickedness, right? And it gives a verse, just 6 and 5. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. All right, and your heart is your mind. Okay, but it says humanity had become obsessed with sin. People's hearts and minds were filled with evil constantly. There was little to no regard for God, righteousness, or justice, and that's what you see today. Very few. You have people who believe, but it's starting to be a growing number of people who don't believe in the Bible. Matter of fact, let me see if we can get an article on that, because I know I saw one. Let's go to End Time. It's one of the End Time headlines. Let's do this. Unbelief. I spelled that all wrong. Let me see. Excuse me. I'm trying to find it, but it's a growing number of people who are, who don't believe in a higher power, don't even believe in the Bible at all. I don't even have time to look for it, but that's what you. Matter of fact, let's get what's that verse? Find faith. Let me see. I think it's in the Apocrypha. Shall you find faith in the earth? No, that's not. Let's look it up. Shall he find faith? Yeah. This is Luke 18 and 8, and it says, I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, which is Yahweh Shai, shall he find faith on the earth? A lot of people are losing their faith. People don't believe that the Lord is coming back, or they believe he's coming back, but not in their lifetime. It's gonna be generations and generations down the line. You know, some people believe he's not coming back at all. You got Christians who are leaving the Christian church. You know, who don't believe in the Bible anymore. You know what I'm saying? So let's get number 2. It says violence filled the earth, and we see that every day. Excuse me. We see that every day, right? It says the earth also was corrupt before God, the Most High, and the earth was filled with violence. We see that. Society was marked by cruelty, oppression, murder, and immorality. Violence here means more than physical harm. It includes it includes injustice, abuse, and corruption. So the earth is corrupt, all right, by who? Let's see if we can get a verse on that. Corrupt. That's a verse I'm thinking about. I think this is it. Yep, this is Psalm 73. I'll read verse 8. And it says, they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. And we know that Esau, Edom, they're the ones who are they're at the top. You know, they're very, very corrupt. They have corrupt ways. You know, they do things corruptly. Loftily means proudly. It means high elevation, elevated place. They're in an elevated place right now. They're on top. Job 9:24, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked, right? But it says proudly. The strong definition, altitude, consecrately an elevated place. All right, it says, excuse me. It says dignity, haughty, height. All right, loftily, upward. So they're on a high. They're they're at the top, you know, and they speak proudly, you know, against people, not just us, the Israelites, but against all nations, you know. Let me see. There's another one on that. Let me see. Is it in Habakkuk or Nahum? And really, I'm just going in the spirit with this. But this is it Habakkuk? Habakkuk 2:5, it says, yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine. Wine in the Bible means philosophy. You know, the different doctrines that, you know, these devils, these people, they push out. The LG, you know, the mode agenda, the trans agenda, you know, feminism, and different other agendas that they push out on these different nations who don't even agree with it. It says he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So he goes to these different nations, and he wants everybody under his umbrella, under his control. He wants to oppress the people. He's already pressing the Israelites, you know, so-called Negroes, you know, Hispanics, Native Americans. He's already pressing us, but he wants to do that to all nations, even his own. You know? It says, let's read it again. It says, society was marked by cruelty, oppression, murder, and immorality. The morale is low in America. People do anything for $1. You know? People do anything to get some money, to be on top. People there's such thing as morals. The only people who got morals, in my true opinion, are the men of the Lord. Those are the only ones who, no, don't get me wrong. You got people out here who are not going to do certain things, you know? If it's something that goes against their principles, they're not going to do it. But I believe, this is just me, the only people who have true morality, who stand on true principles are, you know, the men of the Lord, man. The prophets, you know, us. You can't get us with you know, give you this amount of money to pervert the truth. No, we're not doing that, man. You know, it says violence here means more than physical harm. It includes injustice, abuse, and corruption. You know, you got these people who are on top, not doing nothing to help their own in America, but they'll send billions and billions of dollars to, I don't know, I don't want to get this video taken down, but they'll send billions and billions of dollars to, the small hat, the tiny top, and they'll send billions of dollars to, Ukraine. But what about the people here in their own here in America? They don't get nothing. They may give them a little stimulus check, but that's about it. Number 3 says corruption and moral decay. It says all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. Humanity had turned away from God's design. The corruption may have extended to sexual immorality, idolatry, and demonic influence. And we see that in the music industry. They use these people to corrupt, especially on Jake. Now this happens to, so-called white, maybe different nations will come over here, but mainly it's on Jake. They use these different rappers and women, female rappers to corrupt our people, to make them think, the women, your body, your choice. You can dress how you want, you can look how you want, and there's no consequence to that. The men, money over everything, F women get money. You know how that go. The rap industry. The corruption may have extended to sexual immorality. People just commit adultery. Having orgies. OnlyFans, idolatry, worshiping other gods. You got the black. I'll say the black community. Mainly they're into different religions, Christianity, of course, and Islam, and demonic influence. It says, number 4, the sons of God and the daughters of men. Now, this is where Christians get caught up at, because they say the sons of God, which are the angels, but the sons of God are descendants of Adam. Let me prove that real quick. I ain't gonna spend a lot of time on that. That's another video for another day. But this is Genesis 5:1. It says, "This is the book of the generations of Adam, and the day that God." I'll keep it simple. But this word God in the Hebrew means Allah or Elohim, but it says Elohim in the Hebrew. Okay, and it says rulers, judges, divine ones, angels, gods, and we are gods. Psalms, prove that. Is it Psalms 83 or 82? Yeah. Psalms 82:6. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are the children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. Okay, so we are gods. And to show you that, is it X? I forgot. Is it 20? I know it's 20. Thou shalt not revile the gods. Yeah. This is Exodus 22:26. I'm sorry, 28. Thou shalt not revile the gods, nor curse the ruler of thy people. And what does gods mean? Let's look it up. Elohim, rulers, judges, divine ones, angels, gods. We are the judges. We are the rulers. Okay? We are gods. And I'm not saying we're God. We're not like the Most High. We are not. We can judge. We're rulers. Okay, but back to Genesis. It says, in the day that God created man, in the likeness of God made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam in the day where they were created. And Adam lived 130 years old. 130 years, and begat a son in his own likeness, after his image, and called his name Seth. And the days of Adam after he had begotten Seth were 800 years, and he begat sons and daughters. And then it goes on. Seth had Enos. Enos, he had sons and daughters, and Enos had Canaan, and Canaan, all right, had Mahalalel, and then it goes on, so forth and so on. These are the sons of God, all the way down to Noah. And Noah, he had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, Japheth. All right, who was chosen out of that line? All right, I'm sorry. They were chosen out of was Shem. Okay, but to keep going. So yeah, to show you that was the sons of God were speaking of the sins of Adam. But it says the sons of God saw daughters of men that they were fair, and they took wives of all which they chose. This is one of the most mysterious passages in the Bible. Some believe sons of God were fallen angels, which is not. Okay, the angels they don't rebel against the Lord. They the Lord has it's complete order in the heavens. No angel, not even Satan, rebels against the Heavenly Father. They all are in His command. It says others interpret them as the godly line of Seth, which is correct, marrying ungodly women from Cain's lineage. And if you look in the matter of fact, let's do it like this. Where is it at? I know I got it. Yep. Okay. Let's go to the Bible Hub. Let's go to commentaries. Because they even tell you. This is Genesis. Let's go to Genesis 6 and 5. All right. Which one is it? I think. I forgot which one it was. I gotta go back through it again, but they even tell you that they were the even tells you that it was the descendants of Seth, and not no fallen angels. But let's keep going. It says either way, it symbolized deep spiritual corruption and rebellion against the Most High, and we see the rebellion today. People are rebellious. They don't want to listen to of course, what we gotta say. The Lord even told Ezekiel that if they ain't listen to me, what makes you think gonna listen to you? Right? Let's get this is 1 Samuel. Is it 15? Yep, 1 Samuel 15:23. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, whose name is Yahweh, He hath also rejected thee from being king. So Samuel was telling King Saul, because King Saul was supposed to kill all the Amalekites, all that they had and everything, but he spared King Agag. But if you read that story, but he was telling Saul that rebellion is a sin of witchcraft, So rebellion is sin, and people are very rebellious against the Lord. Even some Israelites, they profess they're Israelite, but they rebel against, the Heavenly Father. They rebel against the men of the Lord that He set up. Give me 1 second. I gotta take care of something. All right, so I had to help out real quick, but where's we at? Yeah, so we finished on 4. No, 5 says God's patience and warning. It says, my spirit shall not always strive with man, yet his days shall be 120 years. It says God gave humanity a long period, about 120 years to repent. And He also shortened, the lifespan. People didn't live as long as they used to. As we read, Adam lived to 800 years. And Enos, they all live about close to a day with the Lord. Almost 1,000. The longest person who lived was Methuselah. He almost lived a day with the Lord. And it says during that time Noah preached righteousness, which he did. We can get that. This is 2 Peter 2. Yep. It says 2 Peter 2:4, for if the Most High spared not the angels, right? And we're the angels, the sons of God. For the Most High spared not the angels that sin, which we are those angels, you know. Um, we are in these. It'll tell you, but cast them down to hell and deliver them to chains of darkness. That's speaking about us, you know, to be reserved unto judgment. And spare not the old world, but save Noah, the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the word of the ungodly. And then we're coming to Noah's, we're following Noah's footsteps. We're preaching righteousness. But this time what's coming is fire. You know, fire is coming to this place, coming to America, you know, and to other, you know, surrounding areas. Because I'm pretty sure not only America's going to be hit, Israel has to be cleansed. And I'm pretty sure other places will be hit by missiles. But Slovakia. I was reading, and spared not the old world, but saved Noah, the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the word of the word of the ungodly. You know, and that's what we're, you know, and the Lord's about to bring fire upon the word of on this world, because the word is ungodly too. Like we read in Ecclesiastes 1:9, you know, there's nothing new under the sun. You know, and you know, really that's pretty much it. Noah's righteousness and the judgment. The judgment is coming. The flood. But like I said, the judgment for this world is fire. If you don't believe me, we can read it. This is 2 Peter 3:6. Whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished. But the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word are kept in store, reserved unto fire, against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. And this word is being stored up. It's being restored. It's being reserved for fire. You know. So. Oh, and I did have a few verses. You know, Luke 17:22. Real quick, because even Yahweh Shai, he spoke about, you know, how it was going to be when he returns. There's Luke 17, I started at verse 22, and he said unto the disciples, the days will come when ye shall desire to see one of the days of the Son of Man, and ye shall not see it. And they shall say to you, see here or see there, go not after them, nor follow them. Right? For as the lightning that lighteneth out of the one part under heaven shineth unto the other part under heaven, so shall also the Son of Man be in his day. Because everybody's going to see the Son of Man when he returns. Right? But first must he suffer many things and be rejected of this generation. And he was rejected when he came, you know, as a man. You know, he was rejected of the Pharisees, even his own people. You know, those who didn't believe, the Jews. And as it was in the days of Noe, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage, until the day that Noe entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. See? So, and we see that, you know, in today's time, people are eating, drinking, giving in marriage. You know, they're partying, right? Halloween's coming up. Then you got Thanksgiving and Christmas, then New Year's. So they're gonna be in the party spirit around this time. I call this the time of this is the party. This is where, you know, people start partying more. It gets cold out, but people are partying more. You know, because it's the time of festivities, if that's a word. You know, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and you got New Year's. You know, so I got Matthew 24. You know, these is just basic. This is Matthew 24:36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. Right? But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, right? While Noah was out there preaching, telling them what was coming, right? This is what they were doing. They were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. So when the Son of Man is returning, as we see, people are still in that same spirit as it was in the days of Noah, right? They were partying it up, going to the club. Well, in this time, they're partying it up, going to the clubs, you know, getting married. You know, there's nothing wrong with getting married, you know, but people are being ignorant of the times that they're in, you know. They're not taking heed to the message that the prophets are giving and are pushing out. They call us crazy. They call us, you know, conspiracy theorists. Oh, you're making that up. You know, they mock, right? They mock. They laugh at us. Say we got dresses on, doing the same thing to what Noah was doing. Noah was preaching. You know, as we just read, he was preaching until the flood came. Now I bet you when they felt them raindrops, they was banging on that boat. Noah, you know, let us in, let us in. We want to listen to you now, but it's too late. Too late. I'll get this last one. Luke 21:36, right? It says, I'll read 34. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that they come upon you unaware, just like in the days of Noah. You know, they were too much into partying and you know, eating stuff in their faces, you know, eating and stuff. Same way today now, right? Man, let's look up surfeiting. See what that says. Surfeiting. The giddiness and headache caused by drinking wine to excess. You know, a lot of people are drinking more alcohol every time they go out to a bar or in the house, or they're just having a get together with friends. They're drinking. Okay, this is probably a headache as a seizure of pain from drunkenness. By implication, a debauch, by analogy, a glut. Okay, gluttony. So it says, for as a snare shall it come on all them, that dwell on the face of the whole earth. It says, watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. So what's being preached now, right? The mark of the beast, digital IDs, Jacob's trouble, okay, the famine of the word. These things are the men of the Lord are pushing this vibration out on the internet and on the streets, telling you what's come. You know, famine, right? Diseases, you know, lockdowns, 15-minute cities. You know, all these different things that's about that Esau is about to come down with. You know, he about to come down with great wrath. You know, FEMA camps. Okay, so Lord willing was edifying for you brothers and your sisters out there. All right. We don't give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, and double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and elders of Great Millstone that teach and rule well. Peace and citation to the for elect. Like I said, Lord, when you was edified, and Lord will be back with another one soon. Till then, I'm going to say, Shalom.